Well, they closed down the mill and they closed down the mine. They said you can't work but pay your taxes on time. Got 3 little babies gonna starve to death or freeze. We started making white lightning, it was Grandpa's recipe. Run, rebel, run to no avail. Run, rebel, run to the Scott County Jail.
Hey everybody, happy Thursday night. You are watching the Jailhouse Informant live stream podcast here with myself and my co-host over at the historic Scott County Jail, Dr. Christy Sumner.
Hey, howdy, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are really excited about tonight's show. It's a little bit different. For some reason, guests right now are either hard to get or hard to keep. So our guest that we were planning on bringing on couldn't make it. So we decided to do something a little bit different tonight. And we're really excited about it. But first, a couple of housekeeping things. I know Miranda's keeping our list over there, but thank you all for joining us. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different things tonight. So it's just the two of us, but I think it's going to be a fun show.
Yeah. And, it's always fun, regardless of what we do. It's nice to be able to come on here and be able to chat with you, Dr. Sumner, and also to chat with the folks over here in the chat room. And then if we're able to get a guest on, that's always great too, but sometimes I think it's summer.
Yeah, I think it is too. And hey, Arizona over there, Janet, shut your oven door because it's wafting over here to Tennessee. We're done. We're done with the oven door. So shut it over there in Arizona, please.
Yeah. And, if you all, we hope you all watched last week's show, but if you didn't, we had the Appalachian storyteller on, and it was a very fun and informative show. Honestly, I'm very proud of where I come from, and especially, here in this beautiful region that is, the South Central Appalachian region. And, to have people that share a love for history and love for storytelling is something that I personally really enjoy. And so it was such a cool thing to have Dr. Phillips on the show last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's a really great guy. Obviously we had a chance to chat with him because after he did the show with us last Thursday, he actually came and recorded an episode for his channel here on Monday. So he was here on Monday. We spoke at length with him and he interviewed us. We actually got to see a sneak peek of the video that he'll be dropping on Saturday on his channel. And just a really great guy, a wealth of knowledge. And I love the fact that he does such a great job of researching his locations. Even if it's not something that he's familiar with, he does a deep dive into the historical perspective of the locations that he's covering, of the stories that he's covering. And I can tell you by watching the episode that he did that's going to drop on Saturday here at the historic Scott County Jail, he did a lot of research and he took it from different angles that others that we know of have not mentioned. And so I'm excited about that. I think everybody's really going to enjoy his episode here from the historic Scott County Jail.
Yeah, and if you've not gone and checked out his channel, he's got a lot of content that you can binge on. And for me personally, hearing him tell some of these stories, especially the ones he was telling about the Scott County Jail, some of those gave me chills. And he puts you in the moment. He did such an amazing job of putting you in the moment and painting such a cool picture of those stories. While some of them a little graphic, a little bit of a graphic picture to paint, it's really cool, and we can't wait. We'll definitely be sharing it here. I think that some of his paid members or whatever he calls them, his patrons. I think they've already seen the episode. I think it's
Mhm.
already released, and so it's gotten some good feedback on that. But if you've not seen it yet, we'll be sharing that. But it will be coming out here on Saturday.
Yes, and like I said, we're really excited about it. So I guess it's appropriate that I have a cattail in my face. It's International Cat Day, so
Yep.
I was made aware of that when people were like, "Why aren't you posting pictures of Sally?" I think Sally has enough pictures posted of her right now. If you haven't seen her little Olympic video, go and watch that because it is really cute. She gave me a little bit of a hard time with the tracksuit that we put her in, but I think she's come down from that anger situation. She's managed that, but Sally's doing great. She's right here, kind of getting in my way. But happy International Cat Day to all the cat parents out there.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
Some of us are not cat parents. Some of us
Oh,
are running a cat boarding house.
yes.
If you come over here to my farm, you can meet my 10 cats. But no, I think at this point I've got 8. No, I've got 5 here at the house right now.
Yeah,
But
5 there at the house, but 4 are coming back from my house soon. So
yeah, so yeah, so happy International Cat Day. Another thing we kind of want to mention about, it's been really busy, and any opportunity that Chris and I get to go and visit other museums in the area is something I know that we both really enjoy doing. And so we're technically closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and so this past Tuesday we were able to get together with our friends from Morgan County there at the Genealogical Society there, and we
Mhm,
took a little trip to the Monterey Depot Museum over in Monterey, Tennessee,
mhm,
which these guys are doing some really cool, interesting things. They had a bunch of awards up on the wall there from
mhm.
the Tennessee Association of Museums, and it was a fun day.
Mhm. It really was, and we had lunch beforehand there in Monterey. Great little mom and pop restaurant, and called B Anna's, which is really fun. But the depot, if you haven't been, if you've been in the area, but have not been to the Monterey Train Depot or the Monterey Depot Museum, it is something to check out. They have some really interesting displays, much more so than I thought they were going to have. They have little train cars in there. They've got Morse code machines, telegraph machines, weaponry from all the different wars. They've just got a whole litany of fun artifacts and displays set
Coal
up in there.
mining, Native
Mhm,
American.
coal mining, a bunch of stuff, there from the area, and, one of the docents sat down and told us some really interesting, ghost stories. They do have a resident paranormal, activity that happens there, resident spirit, that they're pretty proud of, and then told us some local legends from the area, so it was just a fun afternoon. We really enjoyed going over there and hanging out with them.
It was. So if you're ever in the area there in Monterey, Tennessee, which is just down the road from Cookeville, Tennessee, about an hour from Scott County, a little bit over an hour, definitely go and check out what the guys there at the Monterey Depot Museum, because it's more than just a depot.
Mhm,
It's about the heritage of the area. It's right next door to Wilder, Tennessee, and that's got interesting Civil War history. So just really, really neat location and really cool
mhm.
to be able to do that.
Yeah, it was a fun afternoon for sure. Sally, Sally,
And
Sally, 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 Sally.
I'm just kind of
Hold on.
checking my list here, making sure. Hey, Jim Cody. I know Jim came over and took a tour of our flashlight tour last week. We were really
Mhm,
glad to have you here in the area. Come and visit us. Speaking of tours, we do have tours open this weekend, especially tomorrow night. We're trying to get some people on our historic rugby after dark North Village Lantern tour.
mhm,
Um, you know, we typically have a minimum number that we try to get on these tours, and so sometimes it may be a little bit of a challenge to get, but we definitely we need to try to get some people for tomorrow night's Friday night's North Village tour, and it's a fun tour. We take you back through the village. We talk about Appalachian folklore, history, signs, omens, do a
Victorian
little,
mourning practices.
yep,
Yeah.
do a little
Mhm,
session there at Uffington House, which is Madam Hughes's home. So if you're looking for something to do on Friday night, go check out the Historic Rugby After Dark website there, and you can find that on historyhighwayshaunts.com, and go on there, look at the tour schedule, and book the tour. So we'll post the link to that in a post there on the rugby page. But if you're considering doing it this weekend, we would love for you to join us tomorrow night so that that tour can definitely make.
Yes, so it's a lot of fun. Those tours, Miranda's done a great job. Those are the Miranda typically runs the North Village tour. I run the Village tour, and Miranda's done a great job putting that script together. She's in a Victorian morning dress, which is a lot of fun. So she gets herself into character and all of that. She really has done an amazing job with that tour. So again, if you're in the area, please consider us tomorrow night for the North Village Lantern Tour.
Yeah. And we run those tours Thursday through Sunday nights. And, so it's, we do offer those continually, weather depending and that sort of thing. And we do have a couple people on the tour tomorrow night, but we need a few more people because it's just a lot more fun when you have a nice big group. So even though I say big, we do keep the numbers small to keep it an intimate tour. So, so definitely check that out. And then, of course, investigations that we do have a few openings for August. Not a whole lot, but we have a few, mostly Friday and Sunday nights.
Yeah, mostly Friday and Sunday nights for August. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
looking at the calendar now. So if you're interested in anything in August, go ahead and book. The website is there. We are climate controlled. So unlike some other places that may not have air conditioning, even though it's warm outside, we do have air conditioning available. So just, come on out and join us here in August. We will be doing some interesting things for September. So be on the lookout for that. I mean, I don't know if we want to announce it tonight or not, but
sure. If you want to.
Yeah, we'll just kind of briefly,
just give a brief, so just in case we change. Yeah.
So we're going to call it Spooktember, and as a build up for October, seems like everybody's getting into the fall and autumn mode. I even saw all of the Halloween cereal was in Walmart today, which is kind of wild. But we're going to call it Spooktember, and if you book an investigation in September, we're going to add an extra hour to that investigation. And sorry,
at the end.
At the end of the investigation. And so that's going to be our special for September. So if you want to go ahead and book that, we're going to go ahead and do that here at the jail. So come on out. Again, we're climate controlled, so hot or cool weather, we've got you covered. But a lot of people took advantage of that extra hour when we did this in January. So we think it'll be pretty cool leading up to October, because our October is pretty slammed. So take advantage of September.
And it's beautiful that time of year here. The leaves are starting to change. The temperature, I don't want to say it's starting to drop, because we sometimes have hotter days than in the summertime. But there is a chance it could be a little cooler then, and it's just a good time gearing up for it. So, So I know. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for your kind words on that. And that kind of, we'll get to in a minute, but that kind of leads a little bit to what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm just making sure I've not missed anything. There's a few things we'll talk about as we go throughout, but we like to kind of do these series here. And one of the things that Chris and I were sitting there talking about, we've had some really great paranormal investigators come along. And to be completely honest, the paranormal investigators, I mean, they're what keeps our doors open and keeps our lights on. And so we're very appreciative of them. And we're even more appreciative of them whenever they send us or put out content that highlights some of the different things that they've experienced, because some of these things that the people have experienced here are truly mind-blowing.
Yeah. And sometimes people don't go and watch all of these videos because we do have a lot of people, content creators, as Miranda said, that do put out evidence there. But we're sitting here talking, and we have a really cool T-shirt that we sell inside the gift shop called it's the I Did Time T-shirt. So it has a silhouette picture of our jail, and with the words "I Did Time" across it. And so what we wanted to do is kind of highlight some of those teams that did time here, that actually came in and did an investigation and were willing to either put that out there as content for their pages or actually share it with us. So we've got a couple of examples of people who just sent us some one-off things that we'll be sharing with you tonight. But we thought this was kind of a neat idea because, as we're leading up to October, getting up to that spooky season, even though for us it's always spooky season, we kind of wanted to highlight some different things because we haven't really done that. We haven't really focused on these investigators who have come, some from states away, that have come here and spent their time and money here at the jail, and we really do appreciate them. So this is a series that we're gonna be kind of peppering in with our Jailhouse series and the other things that we do. And so this is our very first presentation of They Did Time here at the historic Scott County Jail.
Yeah, and some of these aren't just coming from investigators. Some of them that we're going to be highlighting on this, especially like one tonight, comes from, employees of the jail, or which I guess we and Sally could be considered an employee. But employees of the jail, we also we love it when we have these guided ghost hunts, which most of the people who do the guided ghost hunts are novices and aren't part of a team, or maybe they've just been bitten by the bug and they've started coming in, or have never even investigated at all. Some of the evidence we highlight on our flashlight tours does come from folks like that that's never investigated before. So so we hope that we've reached out to this last minute cancellation didn't give us a lot of time to reach out to the teams. But what we've done is, if you look in the show notes, we have put links to their websites, or not to the websites, but to the videos, the full length videos that they've put out. We've also put links to, we're going to be really kind of plugging their page, and we've invited them to join in the chat room here. So hopefully as we go throughout, maybe some of those folks will pop into the chat room here and give a little insight on their videos and such. And if not, maybe after the fact, they will. So, but yeah. So, and we'll kind of profile and talk a little bit about those teams too, as we get ready to pull up their evidence.
Yep. So which one do we want to start with tonight?
I think we kind of start with the closest to home, like with one of the employees. And one of the things we will do as well, we will also, after the show, this week, throughout the week, whoever we highlight on the show here, we're going to actually post the link to the full length videos. That way, if you guys want to go and watch the full length videos of this stuff, you'll be able to do that. And before we do that, thank you, JD. We really appreciate that. And thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for the link that you sent yesterday. We watched it on the way back from Dollywood yesterday, and we loved it. So we're really excited to share this out whenever you post it on Saturday.
Yeah, we cannot wait. You did just a phenomenal job on that. Let me get this queued up here, Chris. So since you were the experiencer in this, we did talk a little bit about it we didn't really talk about it last week. We just and we didn't play it, but we brought attention to it, that it had been posted. So if you want to kind of set it up, I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled up.
Okay, sounds great. So Miranda and I, we're here during the day. Obviously, we have daytime tours, but we kind of take turns. One day she's here, one day I'm here. So I just happened to be here last week, and Sally was with me. Just the two of us here in the building. It was about 11. No, it was right at noon. Right at noon, and I was sitting here right as I am right at this location right now. And behind us, we both heard these stomping footsteps. She took off and ran into the room, which is directly behind this wall and jumped up on the display case, and she's looking up at the ceiling. So by the time I was able to get my phone and get my camera or my video camera up and running, the loudest of the footsteps, the one that really got our attention, had kind of subsided, but I mean, they were still thumping around. And as you can see in this video, she's reacting to them. Everything is quiet for a minute until I say, are you going to keep walking? And then you hear a loud thump and then a couple of sequential footsteps. And it just kind of went along that pattern. Obviously they did eventually stop. I did go upstairs. There was nothing there. Nothing had fallen. No doors had slammed. You'll hear one big thump, which almost sounds like a door, but it was a footstep. But that's something that's so common here. We hear it all the time, mostly on the back stairs or directly above us. Typically, they don't last as long as they did. I was actually surprised that I was able to get these on video. But when people ask us, do things happen here during the day? It's absolutely, it happens during the day. And this is just an example of it.
And I think one of the important things to note is about our security camera.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So we do have a we do
Yeah.
have a security camera in that room. And so I was really excited because I knew the way the security camera was hanging and positioned, that it would have caught those footsteps. The footsteps started at 12:05. And when Miranda got here, I said, you got to get over here. We're going to pull the little SD card out from the camera. And when we put it in, the camera had stopped recording at 12 noon. I have no idea why, but it obviously that did not capture the footsteps that Sally and I heard, which was really weird because these cameras, even if it doesn't have Wi-Fi, it always saves it. If it's running and there's an SD card in it, it will save the file to the SD card, but there was no file for that block of time. So I said a few choice words that I can't mention here, because I was really upset that the camera did not capture them, but we were able to capture what I did get on the cell phone camera.
Yeah. And because that's unusual for it to not capture,
I know.
at least on an SD card.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and start that. Oops. There we go. I'm going to restart that because of the
Okay.
sound. I don't know why that's not playing sound. Give me 1 second. You didn't hear sound with it, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me actually remove that and try something right quick.
So the interesting thing about this clip, like I said, is that you see Sally react to this. When we have normal guests come in for a day tour, she doesn't react to anybody walking upstairs because you don't hear them unless they do something drastic, like it's a kid stomping around or somebody tries to slam one of our doors. If there's a daytime tour here, if there's somebody touring upstairs, we don't hear it down here. So that's how loud these thumps were, these footsteps were. And like I said, the fact that she was reacting to it, she knew that there was something up there and she's just looking around. Again, it was something very, very odd.
This is not playing.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure the one I sent you had sound on it. Yeah.
Well, let's try sharing it from yours.
Okay. Let me.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So if you go to the present.
Hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up before I do that.
And while she's doing that, yeah, for some reason, I'm not even hearing it with sound on mine. And I've turned the sound on. It's showing sound on.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Oh, always. Let me just make sure if I hit.
Is the answer.
Okay. So my other stuff is playing sound.
All right, so share, where is it down here?
Yep, I'll have to give you permission. Down at the bottom is present.
Got it.
All right.
Share screen. Share screen.
Yeah. And then you should be able to select whichever it is. There we go.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. There's a step right there.
I don't hear any sound. No sound.
Wait till I talk. Did you hear that?
No.
I don't know then. I'm hearing it on mine.
I'm going to try one more place where we shared it on Facebook here.
Thanks for hanging with us, everybody.
Let's try this. So, okay, this has got sound. So let me start it over here. All right. Here we go. I need you to see.
Stop screen?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, here we go.
Now it's frozen. You're freezing.
You done? You done? You just gonna keep walking?
So I actually went to the window to make sure that there was nobody on the roof.
You just gonna stop? You just gonna stop?
Yeah, so I'm sorry there's a lag on that. I'm not sure if everybody was able to watch it. You can go to our Facebook page and watch it. But again, the crazy thing was that Sally was reacting to it. She was looking around trying to find it. We had actually put in a request with the town because we have a small roof leak, and I thought that they had just maybe come to repair the roof and didn't tell us. But you need a crane to get to the roof. There's no access to the roof from any angle of the building, so you need a crane to get up there. So I thought that they just didn't tell us, and so that's why I raced to the window to make sure that there was nobody out there, and there wasn't. But those footsteps were extremely loud. I wish it would translate a little bit better through the camera, but it was definitely something that caught our attention, and like I said, it's something that we hear frequently here. So I think we may have lost Miranda.
And there, no.
Hey, there you are.
Let's see here. Do you see me? Hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. There always is a little bit of a lag whenever you're playing it over internet. So that's why there would have been a lag over that one, because it's not playing from my computer.
Okay, so like I said, there, if it is on our Facebook page, if you want to see it in its entirety, if you've not seen it yet, I do recommend with headphones because it does translate a little bit better through the headphones. But yeah, that was a really interesting day for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of talk a little bit about some of the other people that we're going to be highlighting here. So let me get this picture here pulled up. Whoops, let's see here. Sorry, I have multiple browsers that I'm pulling this stuff up from.
Yeah, next time we do this, it'll be smooth sailing.
Well, I mean, when you're having to pull
No, you're
up
doing
multiple
great. You're doing great.
browsers. All right, so the first one here that we're going to be talking about is Davis Paranormal. These guys came and visited us almost a little over a year ago, back in June of 2023, and was looking around online. We saw that they had put out a video about a little over a week ago, and this father and son team, they were a lot of fun. They came in, they did a day tour. Very, very big on the history, which is something that we absolutely love when it comes to teams that are coming here that have a real passion for the history, and put out a really, really interesting full-length video.
Yeah, they did a great job, and they were capturing some really unexplainable things. You know, it's funny. A lot of content creators, you know, they'll record in the raw, and very few really do a whole lot of editing. So it's funny. Sometimes you'll hear them talk about how, you know, it doesn't seem like an active night. Things are really quiet, and then all of a sudden things happen. So Davis Paranormal did a really good job of highlighting some of those occurrences, which again, unexplainable, but it's things that we hear all the time here. But two of the things that we're going to be highlighting are EVPs from the area where Jerome Boyd and Harvey Winchester were taken out of their cells in 1933. And it's just these two guys in the building that night, and they were nowhere near this stationary camera when these EVPs were captured. So we think they're pretty good pieces of evidence that they were able to capture.
Yeah, they had a pretty active night as a whole. But what I love about the way they set this up is, I think the reason that, you know, it was a minute before the video came out was because they had a lot of cameras covering the jail. And from the way their video looks, it looks like they go over all of their audio, all of their video evidence, because these two things that they captured were things that they would not have known that they had they not gone back and listened. And that's one of the things that we always tell the teams are, you know, we have some amazing disembodied voices there or here, but as far as some of the things people have caught, screams and voices and different things that they would have had no idea that they had captured had they not gone back to review evidence. So
and there's one thing that they do mention, that you mentioned on your tours, that sometimes the jail is almost like a cat and mouse situation, where you're on one level and you're trying to communicate with our spirits and nothing happens. And then you go down to the second level and all of a sudden the third floor becomes a hotbed of activity. And then you race upstairs and everything gets quiet, but then the second level becomes the hotbed of activity, or the first level. So it really is kind of an interesting phenomena that a lot of teams experience here. And he mentions that in his video.
Yeah. And so this first video that I'm queuing up here, let me get this running. The first video that I'm queuing up, as Chris said, they have put static cameras all over the jail. And so one of the things, and I'm going to see if it's taking it just a second to load, but this was captured on their static camera as they were going through. Whoops, one second here. As they were going through and had everything set up, getting ready to do their investigation. He actually breaks it down pretty well on the video where I've cut it. So here we go. See if this will play.
Suicide room. A man killed himself with shoelaces here. There's also been an apparition seen walking back and forth in this bunk, itching, Pots and pans are claimed to sway, an apparition was seen standing in a doorway, and the sounds and smells of cooking have been experienced. Stairwell. Heard going down these steps when nobody was in there. Women's cell. 3rd floor maximum security level. A woman's screams have been heard in the hallway. Big Roy cell. This cell on the far right might contain a spirit that won't leave his cell. And finally, Boyett cell. Jerome Boyett is believed to have been held in the cell on the left, and a shadow figure has been seen here. After setting up this camera before lights out, we capture this faint voice.
So I wanted to actually kind of show on this how thorough they were. And so whenever I clipped their clip, I wanted to show those were the several, not all, but several of the rooms that they had their static cameras set up. And that really cool EVP that they captured that sounded like it said, "I want them." And if you listen with headphones, you can hear it very clearly. It's, it was while they weren't investigating. It was right after they had set everything up.
Yeah. And again, those are the things that happen here. A lot of people claim that they have personal experiences, but a majority of, we don't really have that many personal experiences. But to Miranda's point, if you go back and you listen to your static camera or your static audio recorder, or just listen to any recorder that you were carrying with you, you may not have picked up those voices in the moment, but you certainly get them when you go back and review your audio and video, because it's one of those things where it happens that way here. But he had some more things that are really interesting that night.
Yeah, and we really on this one, we were really focusing on the EVPs because, I mean, they had some other amazing stuff, but these EVPs were, I would have considered these absolutely class A, because you really don't have to listen very hard if you have headphones on to hear it. So this next one, he kind of talks a little bit about that cat and mouse that he was talking about. So let's upload this. Same cell, same area.
What she said about the cat and mouse? About this time, the stat cam in Boyett's cell where we just came from captures this voice. Is this the reason he didn't talk to us while we were in this cell? Hearing the footsteps below us, we head down to the 2nd floor into the kitchen.
Okay, so to kind of talk a little bit about this. So when I clipped this one, they had done a full session in Jerome Boyett's cell, and they didn't really capture anything while they were in there. They kept hearing what sounded like footsteps down over at the stairwell. So they leave that area, they go over to the stairwell, and of course, I don't know if you could understand it, but you can hear it pretty well while he's speaking, that he said, "Do you remember what she said about it, cat and mouse?" And so they were in the process of going downstairs to go find those footsteps. Well, apparently, as they went to the end, when they went back to review their static cam footage, as soon as they left in there, they caught this Class A EVP that said, "I hate them." So, again, and what's interesting, I've listened to these EVPs several times. They're different voices. They're not the same voice. And you can hear these guys, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like they were from either the Midwest or from out west. They had come quite a ways to investigate here. And it has a Southern dialect, these two voices.
It does.
And they're clearly two deep voiced men, but different pitches in their voice.
Yep. And they seem to be intelligent, right? So both of them are acknowledging them. There's two guys in there. And so in my mind, when you listen to those, it seems to be intelligent, especially for the fact that they weren't getting anything in the cells when they were doing their EVP sessions. It wasn't until they left that the static cameras were able to capture those voices.
Yeah. And, you know, I highly recommend checking out their full scale video. I did put that link in the comments there, but I was looking here to see, I am putting the link, or excuse me, I did put that in the show notes. I'm going to put it right here in the comments so that you guys can go and actually watch the full length video. It's not exceptionally long. I think it's 45 minutes, but they do a real good job in the beginning with the history, and it's pretty action packed throughout the whole night. And you'll be able to see some of the other cool things. We will share that link as well. Probably later on the week, we'll share directly for the video, but go show Davis Paranormal some love and check out some of the other cool things that they captured here at the jail.
Yep.
All right. So the next group that we have is, let's see here, is Midwest. Midwest Ghost Hunters. And these ladies, this was such a fun team.
They were fun. They were really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed these ladies.
And they came all the way from Iowa. I think maybe they had somebody from Ohio, but they also had part of their team is from Iowa. And so that's quite a long ways to travel to our little jail over here in East Tennessee.
Yeah, no, they were really fun, very energetic, and I think that's what the jail really likes, right? Our spirits really like it when you come in with just a positive, upbeat, non-confrontational, non-interrogation type of attitude and mentality. And these ladies just wanted to have fun, and I think our spirits really responded to them. They put out their video is really short and concise, but it has some very compelling things that cannot be explained.
Yeah. And I'm going to be streaming this one from their YouTube. So hopefully it doesn't have a delay, because sometimes that seems to do that. But I'll go ahead and cue that up here. Since their video is so short, we've skipped over the history part of it, but we are going to show the evidence that they captured. So let me get that going right here. And here we go.
1938 is the unsolved murder of a sheriff, the lynching of inmates, and the residual energy of numerous men and women housed within its cells the reason why many visitors claim to hear voices and phantom footsteps, see shadow figures, and observe objects being thrown across the room? We decided to take a look for ourselves. We investigated the old Scott County Jail in April 2024 using a variety of equipment, including full-spectrum static cameras, REM pods, K2 meters, and motion-censored lights. We held EVP sessions in the booking area and on all the floors. We did capture some unexplained voices, as well as the sound of phantom footsteps. Are you guys moving? No. Somebody's moving in the hallway. also worth noting that we had some personal experiences, including seeing a man passing by the third floor window when no one was there, audibly hearing an unidentified female voice during our daylight tour, seeing a shadow figure on the second floor, and one of our investigators being touched. Whether the Scott County Jail is truly haunted is up to you to decide. The human mind is a powerful thing, and the power of suggestion can be strong. But the sheer volume of reported paranormal activity, coupled with the jail's dark history and our experiences, give us pause. The next time you find yourself in Huntsville, Tennessee, consider a visit to the Scott County Jail. Explore the exhibits by day, and if you're feeling brave, sign up for a flashlight tour or even a private ghost hunt after dark.
Yeah. So, same kind of thing. I can't hear you.
Now they didn't caption their audio,
Right.
obviously, but and it kind of leaves you to think about what you're hearing. But for me, on that first male clip, I hear "It's mine," and the second one says to me, "I am Lindsay," which was kind of interesting because we did have a sheriff's deputy here by the name of Lindsay. And so that was kind of interesting to me. There was a couple other ones, but I couldn't grab my pen to write them down. But that's what I hear. I don't know if y'all heard anything. I know there was kind of an echo. It's not like that when you watch it on the YouTube. If you go and watch their actual YouTube video, it's a very quick video. It's about 6 minutes, I think. But they had some great evidence, some unexplainable things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it when teams do that. I really like the ones that put you in the moment, but I love the ones that just list their evidence out too. And I like how they do it where they don't always put the caption on there because it does kind of cut down on that power of suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But to me, what I hear in that man's EVP, it's very Southern. Definitely has both of the first EVPs have a very distinct accent from what I hear. And like I said, I just thought it was fascinating because it is happening in those locations where other teams have captured that same evidence, right? I mean, even the footsteps, I know y'all may not have been able to hear them because of the echo, but there was the footsteps that they captured was in the same area where we just showcased mine that I captured. And so that's kind of an interesting, phenomena that happens here, that we were able to capture those things in the exact locations that other teams are.
And it's wild because those footsteps, we could do a whole episode just on the different footsteps that's captured there. It always seems like, from what I've experienced there, when I'm down on that first floor and it's upstairs, it's like a stomping, just all out stomping footsteps, whether it be somebody in there fighting or just them stomping around in that room that's up above and the one that's behind. It seems like if you're on the stairs, it literally sounds like they're coming up the stairs and you can hear the metal clanging on it. And then when it's on the third floor, it's either just a combat boot and it sounds like it's level with the floor with you, or a shower shoe shuffle. And it's distinct on all of them. You can kind of compare all the different footsteps.
And same thing, we talk about residual and residual haunting and intelligent haunting. I think some of these footsteps are both. I think the ones that we captured there over the drunk tanks, I think those were intelligent, because when I said, are you just going to stomp around? Boom, boom, boom. We get some more footsteps. Now we also have residual ones. Come on, Sally. We also have residual ones that are upstairs on the third floor that we can almost, time it to where if you're going to capture them, it's going to be in this certain time window. So it's just kind of interesting. So I think as far as those footsteps go, they can either be intelligent or residual.
Yeah, and these ladies put out videos from all their travels. I know they had just come back to Tennessee to Old South Pitt and Old Harriman Hospital. So go check out their page. It is, if you want to follow them on Facebook, it's under the Just Say Boo name, or you can go on YouTube under Midwest Ghost Hunters, and we have put the link there. We just had it up on the page. Again, we've got all of these in the show notes. Definitely go check out the videos. The next team there that we have that we're wanting to spotlight. This kind of goes in the next two videos that we're going to share. They're a little bit longer, both of them. This one is part of an episode. The last one we're going to share is not part of an episode. It's just a piece of, they don't put videos out, but they wanted to share this with us. They're kind of themed a little bit, and it kind of comes up with an event that is getting ready to come up, the anniversary of Sheriff Richard R.D. Ellis's murder that took place there at the front door. And it just so happens that anniversary is going to be coming up here very soon. And so we wanted to highlight two captures that do coincide with that anniversary as well as with that event itself.
Yep. So now, just to kind of reiterate what Miranda was saying, obviously the death date of Richard Ellis is going to be here on Sunday. It's going to be 99 years since that event occurred. And 2 years ago, there's some conflicting reports when we first started, telling the story. Several newspapers, as well as the Officer Down Memorial page, had his death listed as the 13th of August. Others had it listed as the 11th of August. We have confirmed it is the 11th of August, so that will be Sunday night. But what's interesting is the one piece of evidence that we're going to share, and we'll talk about it a little bit more when we queue it up. We had told them that the anniversary was coming up because that's the information that we had received, when in actuality, it was the night of the anniversary that they were here. So while we told them it's going to happen in 2 days, it was actually the night they were here that was the actual anniversary of the death. So that makes it even more compelling when we showcase what they captured.
Yeah, and so we'll show that one here in a few minutes. But the next team that we really want to spotlight, a lot of you know them. A lot of you have come to this location because of them, and we really appreciate that. This is a Paranormal Quest, and personally, I just love these guys.
These guys are great.
Yeah,
they really are. And they put out quality videos,
they
just really, and they're great about highlighting the history. They're great about being complimentary of the locations. And, we've known them for a while, even before we opened the jail. So we've been following them for a while, but they're just really great guys. And what they did here at the jail, the night that they had was very compelling.
Yeah. And they're out of West Virginia, and they travel. These guys not only travel nationwide, they travel worldwide, and put out, just like Chris said, amazing quality videos, and they do some unique experiments. I was highly, highly impressed with the activity that they captured here. They did everything from the Estes method and caught some really cool captures. They were testing some new experiments. I think they used the Seer app, and had some kind of fascinating results. I mean, I have mixed feelings on apps and stuff, but Seer is interesting to me. And putting AI in with investigating. So they had some neat results with that. But the one part that I'm the most fascinated by is the ending of their video. And again, guys, you got to check out the full video. But let me get this uploaded here. And so this is going to play directly from mine here.
Okay.
So, all right, here we go.
Unfortunately, we hate to cut this because it seems like something may be about to happen. And what we may do is leave this camera run, which also... Shot? No way. Serious. We asked him outside if he knew what happened to him, and it just said shot. Wow. Were you in here all along, Sheriff? 16 minutes on that one. I can't believe that just said shot. I literally just said something's about to happen. That is insane. So you know that you were shot then, Sheriff? Can you confirm that by touching another one of our devices here? Please? Whoa. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. So bright. Wow. That is crazy. if that was the sheriff, thank you so much. You can see that whole strand pretty much too in there. Thank you, Sheriff. We really appreciate it, and we want to thank you for allowing us in the jail tonight and for being so willing to talk to us. We can't stay any longer. We have to pack up our stuff because we have less than 10 minutes before our night is over, and we don't want to overstay our welcome and end up being in jail ourselves. I don't think you could have asked for a better ending than that. I don't think so either. That was a crazy way to end the night. The historic Scott County Jail delivered for us tonight, and we will definitely be back because this was an amazing place to investigate.
So a couple interesting things on that. So they were in the area where we get a lot of activity, residual and intelligent, from who we believe is Sheriff Richard Ellis. One of the reasons we get a lot of activity right there is because those are our drunk tanks. He was a very, staunch believer in abolishing moonshine in the area and making Scott County a dry county. These guys had been outside. They had probably spent, a good 20 minutes or so speaking outside at the door where the sheriff was killed and asking questions, and they got no responses, period. No hits on anything, no responses on any of their voice boxes. And they had, while they were outside, they did have, and they show this in the video, they did have their tripwire set up in there. They also had their camera set up, and they were getting a lot of battery drain and camera drain on those cameras while they were outside. And so once they came back in, really, I guess, not expecting to get anything during the last few minutes, they get this really cool interaction. I think they were really just as surprised as we were when we watched it, So I thought there was a lot of things that was really telling in that.
Oh, I agree. And the tripwire is a tool that we've really come to embrace here. It's something that is extremely interactive with our spirits, and you can't set it off with a cell phone. You can't set it off with other type of electronic equipment. Believe me, we've tried. We've sat and tested it here at the jail. We've tested it at Rugby, and the fact that they were able to get that positive response from an area which to us is extremely active, to other investigators it's been extremely active. Yes, they were our drunk tanks, but also prior to the 1970s, that was part of the living room where I'm sitting, and the room behind me was part of a large parlor/living room area. This wall right behind me would have been like a half wall with an inset door. We have a historical picture of that. And so when the sheriff was killed, his body was actually put in and laid in state inside the jail for 3 days. So we've got that connection as well. So this is just a very active area for, as Miranda said, what we believe is Richard Ellis. We think he's still here. I think he respects what we're doing, and he also really is looking out for his jail, because I really do believe he considered it his jail in his county.
Yeah, and we get him on all 3 floors, residual, intelligent. This downstairs level would have been his living quarters, as Chris said, the second level. He would have been the sheriff that was on duty or the sheriff that was, or the person that was the sheriff, while the third floor had been built, would have been built during his time frame. So he would have seen the second floor as max security, and then seen it when it was the women and juveniles that was held on that floor. So he has a tie to all of it, plus the construction connection and the death connection. So he is a very active spirit here, and is very intelligent,
Yep.
The next team, and the one that we're going to end with, again, another really, really fun team. Again, the energy that these teams bring into the location is truly the energy that good energy in, good energy out, or good activity out. And this was a brand new team, actually. One of the ladies that came and investigated, she'd investigated here before. She came back, brought a whole new group of people, and this group is I love their name. Holy shit, is that a ghost?
Yeah, and that really kind of embraces who they are, right? I mean, they're just again laid back. They obviously take what they're doing seriously, but they understand that you need to have a little bit of fun with it as well, and that's what our spirits really like. And as I said before, the video that we're going to show you here, keep in mind we had told them that they were 2 nights removed from the anniversary when really it was the anniversary. So that actually makes this clip much more compelling. And this is something, as Miranda said, they did not put out. They don't do a video on their investigations. They shared this with us, and now we get to share it with you.
Yeah, and I'm sharing, before I get too far past, I'm sharing the link to Paranormal Quest's video where you can
Okay.
go and you can actually watch the whole video of that. So that is the link to their video. Yeah, so a couple things, as Chris said, on this team. They had gotten a lot of different types of activity that night. Music was something that worked really well for them. Also, most of the team had gotten touched early on the second floor. But one of the interesting things, so one of the ladies that was recording this session right here, she actually came in because she was really upset. She had this amazing session outside at the door with Sheriff Richard Ellis, and she's like, she wanted to show it to me, and the video would not play. It literally said on her camera that the file was corrupt. And so I had to go and see if I could pull some of our security camera footage to show what was happening. Camera was too far away. You couldn't really see the activity as well. I was so surprised to get a message from her just a few days later. And she said when she pulled the file off her camera and started to review, the video worked. So I'm
Awesome.
so glad it did, because this is a really cool capture.
Mhm.
And again, just one of the reasons why it's always important to go back and look at your evidence, because you just never know.
Yep.
And so I'm going to get this queued up.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Are you Sheriff Ellis? You've lit the ball up for me 3 times. If that's you, Sheriff Ellis, can you light it up again? I know we're 3 days away from the event of you getting shot at this door right here. That's got to make you mad all the time, but especially on the day that it happened. This year will be 98 years. 98 years ago, somebody shot you right here at this door. You know, thank you. Thank you for lighting that up. I'm a police officer too. Fortunately, I've never been shot. Have dealt with a gun a few times. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that you're here. Yeah. I appreciate that. I'm sorry you got shot. I'm sorry they never caught the person that shot you. Yeah. Do you know who it was that shot you? Do you know who came up behind you and shot you in the back of the head? You know, they never did figure out who it was. Never figured it out. And that's a shame. Yeah. I'm sorry it happened. But I hear you were a preacher. Yeah, you were a preacher? So that tells me that when you got shot, you went to heaven. So if you went to heaven, do you come back just to look out and watch over the jail, make sure people are okay? Yeah? That's pretty cool that you still do that. And I really wish they would, even though the person's dead now, I wish they would figure out who shot you. It's not right to have you die and nobody know who did it. It's a bad situation. Everybody deserves justice, even if they are gone and the person that did it's gone. Well, I appreciate the time that you spent with me. I'm going to go back inside now unless you want me to stay.
I love that.
Me too. And it just, there's, as you can see, there's nothing acting on that cat ball. It is not moving. The only explanation is that something is acting on it, right? That we can't see. Even when her team member went back in, you could see that his footsteps didn't cause anything. It didn't move the ball. Nothing was acting on the ball physically that we could see. So there'd be no reason for those lights to go off. But it's just really interesting that those lights are going off when she's talking to Sheriff Ellis on the 98th anniversary of his death.
Yeah, I mean that's, and from what I understand from her, she'd been sitting out there for just a little bit, getting ready, and kind of having a little bit of a conversation, and they weren't going off. Period. She wasn't getting any activity from it.
Yeah. And it's not like it's on any type of sequence, because it was almost, it was lighting up almost on when she was asking those questions in a response. To D Hoot's question, did the sheriff die instantly? Yes, he was shot in the head and he died instantly. He was arresting a man. He had just arrested a man by the name of George Foster. The people came around, shot him in the back of the head. He died instantly. And George started yelling, "The sheriff's been killed. The sheriff's been killed."
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, and again, that's one we get a lot from, and we're definitely going to see what we can get as far as activity goes with Sheriff Ellis's upcoming, the anniversary of his death, which as Chris said, it will be this Sunday night, correct?
Sunday night. So we will be doing a live here at the jail. We're going to try some different experiments, ask some different questions, see if we can get Richard Ellis to communicate with us that night. So if you want to tune in, we'll make a poster about it, or Miranda will make a poster about it. And just announcing and reminding everybody that we'd love for you to join us on our live Sunday night as we try to communicate with Richard Ellis.
Yeah, we may try to do some interesting things. A couple cool experiments that we've been able to do through StreamYard, or out here whenever me and Chris do the lives, is doing Estes sessions. I know I did it a lot on my season. We were getting responses through the Estes method from the questions that you were asking in the comments there, which were fantastic. So we may try to do, I think we need to do an Estes session with one of us outside and one inside, where the other cannot hear the questions and obviously won't be able to see the questions. Probably, I would say, do some maybe some dowsing rods, do some I think I've got a lot of really big ideas, and I think you do as well. So be thinking about that, guys. I know that the video that that the Appalachian Storyteller is going to be coming out, and that has some information that kind of tells the story of Sheriff Richard Ellis. So I encourage you guys, watch his episode, get that story in your head, and use that to come up with some questions and some ideas for us to do, because again, he's going to put you in the moment with his story. And I think it's going to make a great, kind of a great intro to doing the investigation on Sunday night.
Yep. So if you just joined us, what Miranda's referring to is we had the Appalachian Storyteller here, he filmed an episode that will be dropping on his channel on Saturday. So please go and watch that. He does highlight Sheriff Ellis, and then come back here for a live with us on Sunday. But please be prepared with questions about Richard Ellis, about the death, anything you want us to ask, anything you want us to try, because this is going to be driven in part heart by y'all and your comments and your questions. We're here every day, so we kind of ask the same things, but we want to ask anything that you would like to know. And as Miranda said, we're going to try some different things that we're really excited about.
Yeah, yeah, and I assume we'll look. I assume the live will probably be 9 p.m., but I can't remember if any of the articles kind of have an approximate time as to.
I think it was around, honestly, the 7 o'clock hour. I don't think we would have been doing daylight savings time at that point. So
I don't
it
know.
would have been around 8 our time.
Well, at one time, and I
Right.
actually just saw this not too long ago. Saw this yesterday. That I think Scott County was on Central Time up until, and I didn't know this. It was on Central Time until the 60s or 70s. So
Wow.
yeah, I had no
Look at you
idea.
dropping Scott County knowledge right in the middle of our
More
live.
you
Come
know.
on.
Rainbow Star, more you know. Yeah, no, I just happened to see that. Somebody was asking if people remembered when Scott County used to be on Central Time. And if you do come over here and visit Scott County, you'll see we're literally 20 miles, 25 miles from the time zone line. So and as far as on this, I know we will be, to answer D Hoot's question, I know we will be live on the historic Scott County jail pages. Chris and I may share that to ours. We'll see what our capabilities are that we have. But more
But for
than
right now,
likely,
just look for the jail. Come to the jail site.
yeah, yeah. And so that's where we'll be sharing it at, since it's just easier to do it that way. If I can get, because I'm limited at how many lives I can do through StreamYard or how many people can be on that live. So, so if nothing else, we may be able to do something kind of creative about that.
So, but, thank you for all of the teams who have come and investigated the jail. Thank you for those that we highlighted tonight for sharing your investigation, sharing that evidence with us and to your subscribers there on your channels. As Miranda said, she'll be putting the links in the show notes. So go and check out those teams that we highlighted tonight. Go check out their entire videos. They're really good. If you've investigated the jail and you want us to highlight your investigation, if you have something specific you'd like us to highlight, send it on. We'd love to do that. But this is going to be a regular series in our podcast, just like the jail is, because to Miranda's point, when we started, the paranormal investigators keep our lights on. They really, that's the only way we can operate. And so to be able to highlight what they capture, to be able to highlight them for taking the time and spending their finances here, we really do appreciate that. So this is something that we're really excited about. And so keep looking for they did time here on the Jailhouse Informant.
Yeah, and I know James had mentioned the smooth criminal. I know that was a really cool capture that they caught. And again, that's what we're looking for, like Chris said. So the best way that you can get that information to us is to either visit the historic scottcojail.com page that we've got up there. We've also got it scrolling across the bottom, and it's got a place where you can email us. You can message us through the historic Scott County jail page. And, we'll probably also highlight, since we're broadcasting on Historic Rugby After Dark, we'll probably actually show some of those when people get some good captures. We may pepper that in. And because, we don't want to make this a whole paranormal show every time, but it is important to highlight these captures here because it does happen so often.
Yeah, and it's fun, and I think everybody enjoys it. And if we can do something to help these teams as well, to go over and get them some new subscribers, we'd love to do that. That's what we want to do. Just really kind of embrace that community spirit for the teams that have been here. But like I said, people are capturing some great things here, and that's something that we want to share. So thank you all for watching us tonight and helping to support these teams that have come, and look for more of these in the future. So it's not like we picked our favorite teams or anything. We just
No.
picked a couple right off the bat, boom, 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 that we knew had some stuff also associated with Richard Ellis, because we did want to kind of bring that into the conversation tonight. So it's not like we're picking favorites or anything like that. We're literally we just literally just picked a couple team names out of a hat, and there we went with it. So we will be highlighting other teams if you've come. If you want to share anything with us, we may put it on there as well. So yeah, that just keep looking for that.
Yeah, definitely. And when you do come to visit us, if you don't mind, if you've never been here before and you saw us on one of these teams' videos, or if you saw us on somewhere like the Appalachian channel or the Appalachian Storyteller or any of those folks, it always does good whenever you come in and you let us know where you saw and heard about us from. So we'd appreciate that, because we always try to let those people know. And it kind of helps us when we're reaching out to people, or people reach out to us to come and video at the jail. That always really helps too. So, so yeah, let us know.
And when you watch these teams, like Paranormal Quest or the Appalachian Storyteller, when you watch their videos, comment, say, hey, we came here because we saw you, Christy and Miranda mentioned you from the jail, so we wanted to see your video, and that just really just kind of spreads the word that we're talking about them and they're talking about us, and it really just does help build that community.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're looking for more paranormal content and some interesting stories about storytellers and ghost walks, tune in to my show here in about 45 minutes on the Ghost Biker Garage, where I'm going to have Miss Marjorie Linnell, and we're going to be talking about her books. She does a lot of books from the South Carolina region, and she also does ghost tours, which is something that's kind of near and dear to both mine and Christy's hearts there. So she's got some great stories that she's going to be sharing, as well as what she does. And that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern on the Ghost Biker Explorations YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn channels. So
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So the two homework assignments that we're leaving with y'all tonight: watch the Appalachian Storytellers channel on Saturday, and come back here on Sunday night and be prepared with questions for our live with Richard Ellis.
Yep. And tune in next week. We will have special guest. I don't want to butcher her name, but I believe it's Kristen Velovich. And she is going to be on. She's doing a really cool project that we're excited to be a part of, the Paranormal Passport for the Appalachian region. And she's going to be talking about that. And so looking forward to having her on to talk about that. So it'll be a little more of a topical show that we're going to be having.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much. We really appreciate it. Again, your support means so much to us. We can't express how much it means to us. So thank you so much for being here every week and commenting and just showing your support. It really is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So until next week, have a good one, and we will see you on Sunday.
Bye.